When I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. I asked her, I said, "Baby, did somebody touch you?" And she ended up saying it was Daddy.
This woman is a YouTuber that built her platform around hypergamous relationships and how to find a man like hers, because she was a single mother and found a man who took her and her kids in and made her a housewife. I'm going to use this video to talk about red flags that a lot of women, like she did, ignore when they're trying their best to find a man to save them. She married this man 1 week after meeting him. She agreed to marrying him because at that time, when she had 2 kids with a previous relationship that failed, she was living with another man who was providing for her, and they had broken up and she needed a place to stay since she had to leave that other man. She met this guy. She asked, "Hey, can I bring my kids with you, live with you temporarily while I find my own place?" And he told her, "If you're going to live with me, you have to be my wife." And I'm sure he promised her everything under the moon, such as, "I'll take care of you, I'll take care of your kids, and you don't pay a single dime." And that is what she was searching for. Under no circumstances should any woman marry a man that they had just met 1 week, especially if you already have children.
Imagine changing your 4-year-old daughter's diaper and realizing that she was really red and in pain down there. So you asked her, "Has anybody ever touched you?" And she says, "Yes, Daddy." And what you do is you get her and your other kids out of the house before he makes it home, and you take them to the hospital. And you have them check your other children as well, and come to find out, not only have he been essaying your 4-year-old daughter, he's also essayed your 2-year-old daughter. And you are a content creator who has built your channel around being a trophy wife and having a trophy husband. And now you have to rethink everything, because this man that you put on a pedestal have been essaying his own children. It's a very, very sad story. Her name is Isis. Her page is A Trophy Wife. The full video is on her YT channel. It is very sad. I can tell that she's beating herself up, but you will never expect for a father to be touching their own children. This is a very sad story. So my prayers go out to her and to those kids that was harmed. But you guys, don't ever look up to another couple, because you never know what's really going on behind closed doors.
Learning quickly that everything that glitters is not gold, I happened to come across Shera 7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life. And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband. So I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband. And it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap, and he was not the first older man that I dated. So when I met my husband, I knew right away almost, and people say that, but it was definitely true. I know it sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant, and it was great. It was an amazing first date. And mind you, I think we both were kind of just dating different people at the time, and that's definitely something that I recommend if you're looking to, find a husband. Is not just dating one person at a time. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket. But we had a great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. I'm not just going to agree to be your girlfriend just after meeting you, because I know that you just want me to be your girlfriend so that you can get in my pants. So I didn't agree, and we both were, we were talking, but then for some reason we kind of stopped talking for a little while, and we both were dating other people and doing our own thing, and then I had gotten into a serious relationship with somebody, and I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap. But that guy had really been investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend, because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting. So I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. We were living together, and I just packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my husband, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me "Oh, those are my boys," and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just be nice to them to get to me. It was very genuine, and that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children. And So, you know, he was talking, my lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, hey, it was so embarrassing to him. I was like, I need a place to stay because my lease is ending and I just broke up with my boyfriend, and maybe, even if it's just like for a couple weeks, you know, it's okay. Just so I look for, you know, somewhere else, because I had planned on needing to find somewhere else. And he was saying, well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend. And I was like, well, how spontaneous are you? And he laughed and he said, very spontaneous. So then I was like, right. So we started entertaining the idea of getting married.
Watched the Trophy Wives video, and as a mom myself, my heart absolutely breaks for her and her family. But I love that this has sparked a conversation about the detriments to the sprinkle mentality.
If anybody marries somebody after 1 week, they dumb. I'm sorry. Sprinkle. If you dumb enough to do that, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry. But if you're sitting out there, you learned everything from me. Did you learn how to be smart? Did you learn how not to be desperate? That you didn't learn from me? Did you hear when I said stop being desperate? Did you hear when I said don't be a pygmisha? Did you hear when I talked about background checks? Did you hear when I talked about all this other stuff? About not dealing with men if you have kids until they're old and grown enough to speak for themselves and be in school and whatnot. Did you not hear when I said all of that? Don't blame me. I tell people all the time, don't say my name if you are desperate and being pygmisha. Don't claim me. If you are desperate and you're not smart enough to get the bag, flip the money, have options. If you stupid, don't claim me. If your IQ is low, please don't claim me. I teach women to be smart, not desperate. If you're desperate, don't claim me.
So I want to give my take about the trophy wife. I've had a lot of my supporters reach out to me asking for commentary on YouTube, and I'm gonna give my full commentary on my YouTube page. But I feel like it was important for me to speak out because I am a mother. I'm a mother who is single, so I feel like I can give a more in-depth perspective about this whole situation. Now, also, as a journalist, I can't just be getting on here and making accusations silly, willy-nilly, because I have not seen a police report. I have not read the police report. So I can only say that these are allegations because I am held to a certain standard where I just can't falsely just go out here and just say these things like as if I was a witness. But Isis got on her YouTube channel and revealed to her audience she felt like she owed that to her female audience, that she has been led astray, and she has been led astray to a certain lifestyle that ended up where her kids were harmed. And I truly thank her for that because she did not have to come out and say anything. Like, her whole brand was built around being a trophy wife, that she has won and she is the prize and she's a wife and she got a high value man. And a lot of people are trying to blame Shera 7. Now, you're going to have a lot of big content creators coming for Shera 7. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like a lot of these women are jealous of her because she has the platform and pool that they wish to have. Like, I was a personal witness to this, to a big content creator who was very jealous of Shera 7. I mean, spoke down on Shera 7 because she wanted her audience. And I'm just gonna say, Shera is giving her personal advice. She's only telling you what worked for her. Is she guaranteeing that what she did and her mindset, where it got her to where she is gonna get you there? No. Also, y'all don't know Shera 7 in real life. Y'all don't know what the things that Shera would put up with, you would put up with. A lot of these content creators, and this is just outside of Shera, a lot of these content creators are going to sell you a dream. Like, if you follow this, you're going to find happiness. If you follow this path, you're going to find the perfect man. If you follow this path, you're going to find the perfect woman. If you follow this path, I'm going to bring you out of hell, as if they are some type of messiah.
Anybody that is selling you a lifestyle course that follow my words to help you out is most likely trying to get a bag out of you. Because even with me, I'm a content creator and I can only talk about what works for me. And as a content creator, as a longtime content creator, y'all have seen me make mistakes. Y'all have seen me fuck up. Y'all have seen me go through breakups. Y'all have seen me go through real life shit that y'all go through probably 10 times worse in your real life. Like, I'm human. No person is perfect. Everybody make mistakes, and some people mistakes, we don't see it on social media. Others, they have to live through it. And I respect ISIS for, like I said, bringing it out to the forefront. But this is a learning lesson, y'all. Like, you can't just take things off this internet, social media, TikTok, and just, it will leave you so confused. Like, 1 minute this person's date and get married, a high value man, date this, date that, go for love, da 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 da. You have so much advice out there, and this is so important to center yourself. A lot of these women with the 4B movement and the women in power movement and all of this saying like, oh, decenter men. How about you center yourself? That's what y'all are forgetting. Because even a lot of women who say they have decentered men are still centering men. Because the forefront of your discussions, the forefront of topics that you guys like to sit and trauma bond and talk about are how bad men are. And let's be frank, it ain't just men that are bad. Everybody are shapeshifters. Everybody is a shapeshifter out here. Majority of people are shapeshifters. People present what they want you to see in them. And then when their true colors come out, you're like, oh, that person's really traumatized. And they think that they're healed, and they're not. The main people that walk around saying, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed, are the most ones who did not do the inner work. And they thought they did the inner work when they got a lot of more work to do. So this just goes to say, like, take what you see on social media with a grain of salt. Like, take the meat, leave the bones. Take the meat, leave the bones. As a content creator who knows plenty of content creators, some are real and some are not. Some are living a lifestyle that they actually talk about. Many don't. Many don't. So be careful. Protect your peace, protect your mind, take a break from social media, and dip into the real life. And what I want to say to single mothers is that you have to center yourself so much and protect those babies so much, because a lot of people think this is just a mother who had kids and got with this man. No, she had kids with the man, and allegedly he abused his own children. And this is not to say that abuse like this does not happen in two-parent households where a woman did everything right, and this happens. This happens, and this is not is this a scenario that could have been prevented? Sure, for sure. It could have like, we would only think that it could have been prevented. But it would be irresponsible to sit here and say this does not happen in normal looking families. As somebody who work in the news and have to read news releases, police reports about trauma, SA, of children and their fathers, it happened more often than you think. Or children and a neighbor, or children and their siblings. It happens more often than you think. And this is why it's so important to talk to your children, be vigilant, and don't let strangers around your kids. And I don't want to make this video too long, but I'll never forget, like, I'm a mother who is single and who has children. And I will never forget the conversation I had where it was a guy who hit me up through social media, and I would post my children. And I have a son who has very long hair down his back, very long, curly, light brown, golden type of hair. He is light complected, and he really looks like, some people think he looks like a girl. And I know the fetishes, like how they fetishize, a lot of men fetishize a certain particular look in the Black community. And I will never forget, like, I posted my children, and this guy hit me up and was like, he asked me, do you have kids? And clearly, if you follow me on social media, on my Instagram, which I saw him see that I have kids, and I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, oh yeah, a boy and a girl. And I go, no, 2 boys. And then he said, I thought you had a daughter. And I go, what makes you say that? He was like, oh, I thought I saw a little girl. And no, I have 2 boys. And he was like, oh. Then he got dry after that. And I immediately got the ick. And I immediately blocked him and stopped texting and was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this man, because I immediately got the ick. Something in my body was like, no. I don't let just anybody meet my children. And I have to be more vigilant of who I have around my children. And even with women, you got to be careful with women around your kids as well. And just because you have a boy or a son doesn't mean you should allow people around them as well, because things happen to little boys as well. I'm just going to say, just be careful as someone who has had to learn also just to be more vigilant of who you want around your children. Please protect your babies. Don't just bring anybody around your children. Don't move too fast. Don't move out of desperation, and stop listening to everything that you see on the internet, because it's going to lead you astray. Use your gut and your mind, and don't be so desperate to find a man. Don't be so desperate to find companionship.